Good morning. Homicide investigators are in Richmond this hour. We join Greg Harper from the scene now with the very latest. Greg?
Good morning, Jody. Well, this investigation is taking place here on Woodhead Road, which is near number 5 Road in Richmond. You can see the police tape up just behind me here, and it's surrounding that home. We're seeing a van in the driveway, a notice on the door as well. This is what we know at this point. Police say they were called here yesterday afternoon. It was around 3:30 yesterday afternoon when they discovered a body. Now, police are considering this death suspicious. As a result of that, Mounties have called an IHIT, so this for right now is a homicide investigation. Neighbors have been telling us that it's an older woman who lives at the house, probably in her 50s, maybe 60s, that she has a son. Not sure if the son resides there with her. He has been seen from time to time. We spoke to a neighbor who actually has a security camera. He says police were in his house yesterday looking at that footage.
Even when I came, I told you back from work, that time I heard it's almost. Then I asked my neighbor, they say 3:30, 2 ambulance came and fire truck. Then maybe that time before 2 I came, they took the bodies.
It's unclear if police were able to see anything from that footage. That neighbor also says that police have been called to this home a number of times. Again, this death being considered suspicious at this point. So for right now, this is a homicide investigation. That's what we know. Jody?
All right. Thanks so much, Greg Harper, reporting live from Richmond this hour. We'll check in with you at the top of the hour. Free parking might soon be a thing of the past for teachers in the Vancouver School District. The idea of charging instructors to pay for spots on school property will be discussed at a meeting tonight. School Board Chair Christopher Richardson says charging for parking could generate as much as $300,000 in revenue for the district. The cost would be $35 a month for a reserved spot or $15 a month for whatever's available, plus 27% combined tax. TransLink is considering bringing in a one-zone fare for buses when the Compass Card system gets up and running. A one-zone fare could solve some ongoing issues with the Compass Card program. The system's supposed to stop fare evasion, but TransLink is having trouble with the card's tap-out function on buses, which would determine how many zones a rider has traveled. People who forget to tap out could be charged the maximum 3 zones. So a one-zone fare could solve that.
It's way more complicated than rocket science. It involves people and all of the different things that we do. And to have one system that tries to accommodate it all and do it fairly, well, no one's actually figured that out.
For at least the 3rd time this month, a high-risk sex offender has not returned to his Vancouver halfway house. Gary Vogrig is a 2-time federal offender on parole for sexual assault and uttering threats. He's described as 5'11" and weighs 165 pounds with 4 burn marks on his left forearm. If you see this man, you're asked to call 911 immediately. Police are investigating more overnight gun violence in Metro Vancouver. The latest incident happened in Burnaby last night. Calls came in about shots being fired near 16th Avenue and 16th Street at around 10:30. When police arrived in the area, they did find evidence of a shooting. Search dogs were brought in to try and help with the investigation, but no suspects and no victims have been found. The federal government has approved 100 new RCMP officers for Surrey amid an ongoing turf war between 2 groups of low-level drug traffickers. The city will also receive $3.5 million to prevent vulnerable young people from entering the gang lifestyle. Mounties believe a group of South Asian and Somali gang members are behind a battle brewing over the area's low-level drug trade. Surrey's acting mayor says the city needs to continue to grow along with its population, which includes vulnerable children of refugees.
Any kind of funding that we can get in our community is welcome by us all, and to see more police in the community, promise some more police in the community, we can't ask for anything else.
Much lighter fare now. It'll be the end of an era for late-night TV tonight as David Letterman signs off for good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Murray.
This was last night's show where Bill Murray, who was the first guest ever on Letterman's show, spilled out of a huge cake, giving Dave a big icing-covered hug. Regis Philbin also made an appearance, his last. He's been Letterman's guest more than anyone else, about 150 times. Regis. Letterman's been hosting late-night talk shows for more than 32 years, the longest in the business.